Hey, yo, 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 mic check, mic check. Alright, sounds good on my end. Hopefully, it sounds good on your end. Welcome back to my channel, people. This is The Last Snow. You call me Snow for short. And happy Monday afternoon, night, morning. Not sure where you guys are watching my stream from, but I'm just glad that you guys are actually tuning into my channel. And we definitely going to be talking about what the caption says yellow deck predictions going into set five and what my rankings are, in my opinion, what my rankings are going into set five. And when I say rankings, it's rankings towards the color itself, not overall. So my goal for this week is take each day of the week to talk about one color, deck builds. Once the deck build, we could go interaction on what you guys think about my deck builds and the deck builds that I'm building is for you guys to test out now. We got 2 weeks before set five comes out on the client. So these are the jump start because a lot of people was asking me what to put in certain decks. They want to test something now. And this is my gift to you guys. These are the jump start decks. These are not the final version of the decks. You guys have to test it out, see how you like it. Give me some pointers on ideas or maybe on some type of cards that you guys may maybe think you can replace with the deck structure that I have, or maybe not. Maybe the ratio of the cards that I have is kind of different than the ideas that you guys have. It all that matters that we are here and we're gonna talk about each deck breakdowns for the prediction on set five, and then we're gonna overall rate or each color and break them down. Right. So the overall a lot of people like doing the overall ratings on every deck that's coming out going into set five. Can't really do that because we don't know what the meta looks like. People doing it, granted, if you guys want to do it, those are your predictions. But everything looks good on paper, and then everything will be a downfall once it comes out with the meta everybody's playing it. Understand what I'm saying? So hopefully you guys enjoy the stream. If you guys are new to my channel on YouTube and on Twitch, welcome to my channel. If you guys are just, regulars, has been here since day one, thank you for tuning in again. Really appreciate you guys for being here. And we're definitely going to be talking about the yellow deck predictions that I have for you guys. And then what do I rank each deck from the least, from when it comes to yellow, 7 leaders. So from the seventh leader to the first leader, and then we just take it from there. So like I said, welcome back to my channel. We're gonna start off with, if most of you guys don't know, maybe know, set 5 comes out February 14th, which is Valentine's Day, called New Adventures. Is definitely our interesting set that's coming out because it basically supports a lot of the old leaders plus the new leaders. So it's kind of in a range that we're gonna have a lot of meta decks. Um, as of set three, when the color black came out, it kind of built up to not just having 1 to 2 decks. Looking at set one and two, set three with the color black moved up to four, and then set four came out, moved up to five, six, maybe seven, if I'm not mistaken. And now going into set five, I feel like there's gonna be a lot of meta decks out there, maybe double digits. Who knows? We're just gonna have to wait and see how everybody plays every leader out because a lot of people's gonna be testing it out. Like I said, we only have 2 weeks. 2 weeks you guys have. That's including me to grind on the new cards that's coming out for set five. So like that, once client comes out, you guys are ready to lock and load. Hopefully, you guys got your codes ready when it comes out, and then I mean not codes, yeah, gems ready to get those codes in, those starter decks in, because from what I was reading, when set five comes out, you get to choose one of the five leaders, and they come out with a starter deck. So that's kind of interesting. That's the first time they do that. Um, it's something unique going into set five. They're trying to switch it up. There's a lot of stuff coming out this year. I hope you guys are tuning in on that. There's new decks coming, starter decks coming out. There's new booster boxes coming out. Um, the collaboration with Dokkan Battle as well. The card arts. So a lot of things that's coming out. But let's just keep it at what we're gonna talk about today. Yellow decks predictions, and then where do I rank them from least to greatest, and then we're gonna take it from there. Um, let me just drink a little bit of water. So yeah, all we're gonna talk about today is yellow, and then the next couple of days gonna be a different color. So, like I said, if you guys are watching right now, just make sure that you guys comment on the chat below, so like that we could definitely talk about like the stream yesterday. All the guys that was tuning in, appreciate everybody that's tuning in, put their points across, asking me questions, sending me their deck list, and we spoke about it on the stream as well. So as a community, we gotta have to work together, and that's the only way you're gonna grow. A lot of people wants to play certain deck, but they don't know where to start off with, and that's what I have for you guys today. So starting off, like I said, new adventure, February 14th, Valentine's Day. It's a Friday, so hopefully you guys are ready to lock and load when the set drops. And let's start it off. Going to my deck planet. So as you guys can see, I already locked in building these decks. I built these decks yesterday. Did the best that I can just to start off. This is basically startup. Don't don't take it as these are my final versions of these decks. These are your start off or what you guys to start off with. These are my ideas that I feel like you should start with, and then maybe test running certain cards. You guys will see what deck, what cards fit in the deck or not. So starting at number 7, I love this leader. This is the leader that I really started with um, when I started Dragon Ball Fusion World, and it did get support, but I still feel like it's still missing a couple of more pieces for the deck to get a little bit stronger. But it is getting better. It's a fun deck to play with if you guys are looking for a fun deck to play with. But coming at number 7 for yellow would be Cooler. So this is my deck profile for Cooler. It's a 53 card deck. I try to minimize it to 52. Going into set 5, I feel like a deck of 50 is not good enough. I feel like average it's a 52 to 53 card deck because you're gonna have a lot of draw power. Like I said in every of my streams, going into set 5, you gotta have the draw power, you gotta have the combo power, and and just try to avoid having that many zero combos into your deck because combos and the hand size is gonna be everything when it goes into um, set 5. So starting off with the Nice, the original Nice, 2 drop, 20k swing, 10k combo. It's a blocker and it's a self awakener. Why do I still continue playing this card? One, because it's a blocker, it's a self awakener, and it's a 10k combo. If you want to summon it early, if you get this card early, you can definitely use it to self awaken, and then you can have it on the field to protect off of a big body swing that you don't want to get hit with, or try to protect one of your battle cards on the field. Um, so like that, they don't put you in a position that they have more battle cards in their field compared to yours. Because remember, Cooler does have a weak point starting the game, which on defense he does not have the hand size. Because every time he swings, he does not draw. It's good on the offense to attack crit, and most likely they're gonna take the hit, or because they don't want to burn their hands out. But sooner or later, the hand size has to come into effect. Cooler is all good and dandy when he's on the front side, but you need to start building up that hand size going into late game. So I definitely have Nice coming in, 4 ofs. New card that's coming out for set 5 is the King Cole. This King Cole is amazing going into this deck. It's a 4 drop, 25k swing, 0 combo. On play, if you have a total of 3 or more cards with Frieza Clan in their special traits among your leader and battle cards in your battle area, play up to 1 King Cole, 1 non-King Cole battle card with the cost of 4 or less and Frieza Clan and its special traits from your hand. So this is definitely a good card because you got a couple of small bodies in this deck that are considered Frieza Clan. So if they stay on the board, that's why you got the knees to protect it. If they stay on the board, all you need is one body when you summon King Cole on the board because the leader's already counted. So that means you already have counting two bodies, right? Two bodies on the board that's on the Frieza Clan. All you need is one more to especially summon another body that's a four drop, and you have potentially a lot of four drops or less in this deck that will potentially build your board easy. Especially if this is mid range game that you definitely gonna need your your cooler to be awakened by. So like that, you get the draw power, you get to restand this guy, and you get to restand this guy and swing for 25k swing again. All right. So next up, I am playing one of the best cards in yellow for extras, which is Final Explosion. It's a 3 cost. Choose all of your opponent's battle cards with the cost of 3 or less and switch it to rest mode. Then choose up to 2 of your opponent's rest mode battle cards with the cost of 4 or less and KO them. So this is definitely good because you can get to explode multiple cards off the field, and that's what you want to do. When you feel like your opponent has a wider field than you do, this is the card to lock that down and just apply pressure as much as you can. After that, a new card that's coming out for set 5. It's a Mecha Frieza, 1 drop, 5k attack, 5k combo. Activate on main, switch this card in the battle area to rest mode. Look at the top 3 cards from the top of your deck and reveal it to 1 card where Frieza Clan in its special traits and added to your hand. Place the rest at the bottom of your owner's deck in random order. Okay, the reason why I'm playing this because everybody's probably looking at me like, why are you playing this? It's basically a blocker. You understand? So you know your hand size is not that great starting the game because you're not drawing with cooler swings. So you use this card to put it in rest mode, right? Put it in rest mode to get a card from your deck, and that's an extra card in your deck from going into your hand. And then for the following turn, they're gonna end up swinging to this, and you can still apply pressure on crit mode to, you know, to keep this flow going that you're applying pressure to your opponent. Um, if they keep it on the board, this is actually once per turn. And if you keep it at once per turn doing this effect, you're gonna continue drawing more and more cards. But most likely your opponent is just gonna try to eliminate this by the first time it's on rest mode. So it's definitely a good card. Next up, this is from set 4. Definitely one of the good wide open, like a eye opening for um um cooler fans. It's a 3 drop cooler, 25k swing, 5k combo. It's a self awakener, and it's an auto once per turn with one of your battle cards. Other than this card is switched to active mode by your cooler leader's skill, you draw a card. Playing 4 of these because you need the draw power. This is definitely one of the best cards in the cooler deck because it's an auto effect that every time you do cooler's effect, you not basically losing cards out your hand because cooler's effect is gonna make you discard a card to restand the body. But if this is on the board to use this effect, you basically just replacing the card that you discarded to put another card in your hand from the draw from your deck. Next up, big body definitely is a Mecha Cooler Core, 4 drop, 30k swing, 5k combo. Activate on main, switch this card into rest mode. Play up to 2 Meta Coolers with the cost of 3 or less from the drop in rest mode. So basically, this card is um effect goes towards the coolers, the meta cooler blockers, because they get to restand at the end of the turn. So if you have those cards in your hand, combo out of it, combo from a swing. Um, Make sure they have on a discard pile that by the time you summon this guy, you put it in rest mode. You get to bring back 2 of those coolers back. At the end of the turn, they get to restand again, which is definitely good. And then if you want to play it smart, use Cooler's Leader effect, discard a card from your hand to restand this again and put it on rest mode because it doesn't say once per turn. So now you're gonna have four bodies on the board extra from your discard pile. It's gonna be on rest mode, but your searches is actually going for the blockers. So like that, you get to restand those blockers back up. So like that, you have protection. So when it's your opponent's turn, you definitely have that protection there. Next up, I have the Boma, one drop. It's a staple card for every yellow deck. Gotta have this card in every yellow deck. The reason why, because it's a Self Awakener, activate on battle. Um, your opponent's gonna try to dry you out from now awakening you, always swinging at your board. So you need something on the board that actually gonna give you an early pass to drawing cards, to resting bodies on your opponent's side of the board, and to take a life. So Boma at four, maxed at four, is definitely good to have in the cooler deck. Next up, the original from set one is the Frieza one drop, 10k attack, 10k combo on play. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards and switch it to rest mode. This is definitely a good card, just for the simple fact that if your opponent has small bodies that really does damage to you. So like let's just say when it comes to red, they have the Whis that minus fives, or anything that as mid range like the Gohan that swings minus 15 and take a life, like stuff like that for red, and then blue, some bodies like the peel off on the board, or anything that's one drop that considers to be a threat in the game. For any color, you want to make sure that you have this card in your deck, and it's a 10k combo, which you definitely need for support for late game, um, to apply pressure to your opponent. But definitely got this Frieza at four. Next up, set five, the big boss. I think this is the biggest threat going into set five. Yellow definitely got an upper hand on this with the four drop Frieza, 30k swing zero combos, and it's a barrier, meaning nothing could affect this card. The only thing that would affect it is being um, swing that at 30 or plus more. But it's not going to be easy. If you got this body on the board, you want to make sure that this body stays alive. But at the same time, you got to make sure that your hand size is healthy, because the last thing you want to do is burn so many cards out your hand just to protect this. And then next turn, your opponent comes back and apply more pressure than you did, and then you could probably lose the game. With the effect of when attacking, tap two energies, choose up to one rest mode battle card with the cost of five or less in your opponent's battle area, and place it into your owner's drop. What I like about that effect is not worded as a KO. So if you're going towards a mirror match, the three drop yellow Vegeta would not be protecting anything on the board if this guy swings and use that effect. So it's not being KO'd, it's just being removed from play. So yeah, this has to be locked in at four, and definitely gonna be a great card that you could use with the new King Cole, to special summon a four drop Frieza clan. This is a four drop Frieza clan, so you could definitely summon this for free. And if you swing with this 30k swing, discard a card from your hand, and then you can restand this card again, with your leader effect to swing for 30 again. So that's definitely good as well. Next up, standard super combo. I play this because it's a newer version to use for yellow. Zarba looking kind of cool, um, but it's a standard 10k offense, 20k defense super combo. Next up, like I said about hand size, you wanna afford and hand size and try to control your opponent's board. So I'm running two of these, which is an energy absorption, which is activate on main. Choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, which is a rest mode, and it can switch to active mode during your opponent's turn. Then, if that card costs four or more, draw a card. So that's what you're gonna try to do, is to, you know, try to lock in those four drops or heavier. So like that, you can get to draw a card. If not, just try to swing for those small bodies to lock them in, which most likely that's not what you're gonna do. Um, so yeah, you're running two of those. The original Sorbet, one drop, 5k attack, 5k combo is a cantrip. On play, draw one card. Standard. Next up, the meta cooler that I was talking about earlier to play with the meta cooler core to bring back to from your discard pile to the battlefield and rest mode. But this card is definitely good because at the end of the turn it switches to active mode, so you basically not losing anything. You're gaining out of it. As a 3 cost, 20k swing, 5k combo, and it's a blocker, so try to protect. It's not a big blocker, but it's actually something on the board that could protect your life or something on the board. Last but not least, I really like this card that's coming out for set 5. It's a Frieza 3 cost, 20k swing, 10k combo. When attacking, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, which is definitely good because if he continues surviving and staying on the board, um, you know, you get to take a life each turn, and sooner or later you're gonna awaken. I played this over the Frieza 2 drop because the Frieza 2 drop is a 5k combo. It's the same 20k swinger, but it's 1 energy left to use. But the difference between that card with this card is actually, you know, when you choose a battle card in your opponent's battle area, you can switch it to rest mode. It's not restricted into the cost. The 2 drop Frieza is restricted to the cost of 3 or less. So that's why I feel like this card is a little bit better, even though it's a 3 cost. But at least you got other cards in your in your deck that you can summon to draw or to rest or whatever you got to do in order to once turn 3 comes and you got 3 energy, you start summoning bodies like this and you play 4 of these. So this is my cooler deck, 53 card deck, and this is I'm ranking out of the yellow decks. Out of the yellow leaders, I rank this at number 7. Hate to say it. Next up for number 6, sorry to say, it will be the Babidi slash Boo. How many of these I'm playing? I'm playing the Majin Buu 3 offs. It's a 3 cost, 25k swing, 0 combo barrier. When KO'd, um, discard 1 card from your hand to play this card from your drop in rest mode. So it's definitely a good card to use because it cannot be, it can't be affected by any card skills or effects. So this definitely protect you, and it's a 25k swing, which is a standard 25k swinger to have. Because if you're playing against the Brawlies, the Jirens, or the Zamasus, they are going to be 25k leaders, and you don't want to burn cards out your hand early to do so. So I'm playing 3 of those. Next up, I'll play the field card, which is a 2 drop Babidi spaceship. On auto, on your turn, once per turn, when your Babidi or battle card with Wicked Souls in your special traits is played, choose up to one. Hold on. Sorry, that my phone is acting up. Wicked Souls in your special traits, and is played. Choose up to one of your opponent's rest mode battle cards with the cost of 4 or less, and it can be switched to active mode during your opponent's turn. So this is definitely a good card because you get to lock in a body on the board that it can't use, especially with the new cards that's coming in for set 5. This is definitely good because most of the 3 to 4 drop bodies that is coming in is kind of a little bit too strong to leave um, unlocked, unattended, basically, because once they start swinging, their effects are gonna start popping off, and you're gonna find yourself in a disadvantage, especially with this deck. Next up, like energy absorption, definitely a good staple card to have in each deck. Um, the main, you already know, I already spoke about it. Choose up to one battle card, opponent's battle card, switch it to rest mode, lock it, they can't attack next turn. And then, for the cost of 4 or more, you could get to draw a card. So I'm playing 2 of these. Definitely good to do. Another standard card, another staple card to use, not standard, staple card to use is the Final Explosion. You already know what that does. Rest everything 3 or less, pop 4 or less. That's rested. Next up, I'm playing the Boma. The Boma, you already know, is for the Self Awakening. Try to awaken Boo as fast as possible because Boo's effect is definitely good because at the end of the turn, you get to summon a 2 drop or less from your hand to the field. Wicked Soul, right? I can't even check. Crazy. Uh, let's see. Yeah, 2 or less Wicked Soul or Evil Wizard and then special traits to your hand. The super combo is definitely there. Four ofs. So you already know the searchers. You want to get the searchers as well, so you can play this at the end of your opponent's turn. At the end of your turn, so like that you get to draw a card, and then you have the 10k combo ready to protect you from whatever happens in your opponent's turn. So that's definitely good as well. When it comes to the big body, try to squeeze this in because if you're gonna play off the lead effect, extra body on the board is definitely great. That on your turn now, when it's your turn again, you get to summon him because then you could play up to one 4 cost or less Majin or Evil Wizard into this with the special traits from your hand. Double strike, can't go wrong with it. Ooh, sorry. Can definitely go wrong with that as well. So definitely to have a big body. And this deck, this Majin Buu didn't really get much support. I'm just added in. As you can see, there's nothing for set 5 that's coming in that's actually going to support this deck. So that's why this deck is kind of like bottom tiered when it comes to the yellow leaders. But it does go above above Cooler because Cooler, the hand size is definitely a problem. When it comes to this deck is definitely good compared to it because you get to special summon an extra body. You have cards like the boss, the big boss Majin Buu Kid that special summons another body on the board. Then you have the Bora that gets to special summon another body on the board and is a Self Awakener. Then you have the Barrier um, that fits perfectly in this deck, the Majin. Um, then you have this card that gets to discard cards. If you KO a body on the board, you get to discard 1 card from your opponent's hand and you get to draw at the same time. So that's why I feel like this one has a little bit leverage over Cooler because it definitely controls the board a little bit more. And then with the amount of blockers that this deck has, which I'm running 5, 7 blockers. That's not bad. 7 blockers not that bad. Definitely playing this because of the field cards that some leaders are using. You definitely want to pop those off the field because those field cards are definitely dangerous. So the, this is definitely ranked at 6. It's a 53 card deck as well. If you guys like to test it out, you can definitely test it out. But the Majin Buu going into this Majin Buu going into set 5 definitely didn't get support. So I feel like not much people's gonna be playing this deck. Next up, um, for number 5 will be the Ginyu Force, Captain Ginyu. Um, Hate to say it, they definitely got a lot of support going into set 5. Um, but I feel like those support goes towards helps more towards other leaders than this one. Even though this leader is built on Ginyu forces, but I feel like this deck is a little bit, you know, got its potential, but I feel like it definitely need more firepower when it comes to power swings, because the Ginyu package is still coming out as, they have the 20k swingers, 2 drops, granted, and then they 5k combos. That's what makes it a little bit weaker. It's better than the Majin Buu Babidi version because of this one. Their their bodies, the Ginyu Force body has an effect that actually puts a lot more pressure than the Babidi does, and then the hand size will be a little bit healthier, but the board will be wider going into cooler. So that's why this is ranked number 5 compared to the other 2 leaders. With the additions of the freeze that I already spoke about, definitely helps out because as a self awakener, you try to awaken as soon as possible, and you get to rest the body on the board. So if you got a wide board, you get to just apply pressure on the board. So like that, you get to burn a lot of cards from your opponent's hands. Another card that really definitely does a lot of made an impact to the Ginyu package, the Frieza leader, and the Janemba leader, which we'll go talk about it later on. Is the Jace 2 drop 20k swing 5k combo. It's a crit and it's a self awakener, so you get to take a life, and you're applying pressure to your opponent because they're gonna have to burn a card out their hand. And if they don't burn a card out their hand, that card that they're gonna take from life goes to the discard pile. And definitely playing 4 of these because you want to apply that pressure to your opponent so they can burn cards out their hand. And if they do awaken, their hand size not increasing because it's a crit leader. Uh, Another card, boss, definitely got to be in this deck. Barrier can be locked into anything. When I say anything, I mean like skill set, skills, cards that try to affect this card does not work, and you get to remove bodies off the board. Another card that actually coming out for set 5 is the Raccoon. Definitely a good card, but it's situational. And the only reason why this card is only being played in the Ginyu Force deck because of the effect, which is permanent on your turn. You have to have total of 3 or more cards with Ginyu Force and the special traits among the leader and the battle area. Um, and it gets 5,000 power. So now you got a 25k swinger, which is definitely good because that's what a lot of leaders are gonna be handing off to when it comes down to applying pressure to your leader, especially when you're playing the Zamasu and the Brawlies, which hardly does. See Brawlies, the Brawlies, and the Jirans. But Zamasu is definitely gonna be seeing a lot because the Zamasu is definitely gonna be a deck that a lot of people's gonna play because of the support that they finished getting. Not a direct support to that deck because they only came out with one direct support, but there's some blue cards that did come out that is definitely gonna help out. Um, Another card we already spoke about this. The super combo, energy absorption is definitely good for this deck. You have your cantrips, you have the Raccoon. I wanted to swap this out with the uh, another like cantrip so you can have the hand size, but for some odd reason, um, it doesn't really help out much. So I feel like this card is a little bit better because you get to draw, then you get to discard 1 card, and if you switch it to rest mode, you get to restart the energy. Maybe that's the energy that you need to use the Ginyu Leader's effect to restand. Not to restand, but to apply pressure to swing with all your bodies on the board if your board is wide. So that's definitely good to really think about. Uh, the bonds of fear, the bonds of the Ginyu Force. I wanted to put it at 4 because it's definitely a good card to have, but I'm still trying to figure out how I can input this into 4 and then to have it recycled back to your hand. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. And then last but not least, you have the field card, which is definitely gonna help out Frieza. Which is definitely gonna have Captain Ginyu, um, because you can switch this to rest mode once per turn. Um, and it's not even once per turn, but it's gonna be once per turn because there's no card that restands your field cards. So unless you're gonna resummon this card by popping this and summon another Frieza spaceship, but this definitely gives you the potential to play another battle card with the cost of 2 or less, a Frieza army, and a special trace for you in your hand in rest mode. So that's definitely good as well because you can do that and then try to use the leader effect to apply pressure. So Captain Ginyu definitely got support, but I don't feel like it ranks up too high in the yellow list. Um, because it still needs those 25k swings. Is Ginyu based. The leader effect has to be Ginyu based, Ginyu Force based. So most of the Ginyu Force based, the 5k combos are really not strong enough. You have to search it as a 0 combo. You have the barrier Frieza that I just added in because you want to have a big body. But if you have other options, guys, you could definitely try to test this out with something different. Put it on my Discord, and we could definitely talk about it. We've been doing that for the past couple of days on my Discord. People post in their deck list, and then we talk about it. If you don't got me on the deck list, I mean a Discord, follow me on the Discord. It's the last snow, just like my screen name on Twitch and on YouTube. So this is number five, the Ginyu. Now going to number four, it really is a tough decision because we got four more leaders to go, which is Frieza, Vegeta, Majin Buu, and Janemba. Um, I'm not going to lie. I do, people might be think I might be out my mind when I say this, but I feel like coming to number four, and it was a sleeper deck. Going into set four, but for some odd reason, people started finding its potential on how to, you know, the weak points to this deck, and I feel like ranking to number four will be the Majin Buu Evil. Um, 52 card deck. Could definitely put it at 53. It's definitely a good deck, but like I said, it definitely didn't get support going into set five. Um, that's if you look at it, the only card that's actually new into this deck is the Barrier Frieza. Barrier Frieza definitely gonna help out this deck. Because it's a yellow, it's a four cost if you want to apply pressure, and you have two barrier cards. You have the Majin Buu three drop barrier that's a 25k swing. Um, and honestly, people don't even play three of. People actually play the 10k swingers, the 10k combos. Um, the one that KOs itself to draw a card, or the other one that KO a card from the field, and then it goes up to 35k swingers. People would actually put that other than the Majin Buu barrier card, which is definitely smart to do because you want to run a lot of 10k combos going into set five. But like I said, this is just a jump start of it. But I feel like this will be a great jump start to test out if you guys want to test out the Majin Buu Evil. Um, but like I said, the only card that I really feel like fits that's going into set five would be the Barrier Frieza. But if you want to swap anything out of this deck, will be the Majin Buu, the three cost, and put some more 10k combos into play. So like that, you don't find yourself in a predicament that you got too many zero combos, especially that you have, you know, the double strike Majin Buu, you some that which is a three of. So you definitely want to play three of those. The three of the Frieza barrier, and then you have the six drop Frieza as well, and then you have five other cards as extras as a zero combo as well. So you really want to be focusing on trying to not to have that many zero combos into your deck. So this is coming at number four. At number three, sorry to say, at number three, um, it did creep up a little bit. I felt bad that the Majin Buu definitely fell off the way it did, but going into set five, other leaders got the full effect of the support. But at number three, I give it to Frieza. I definitely give Frieza number three because it definitely got support. Um, and even because of the effect of Frieza, it makes the deck dangerous going into set five because now you have the floodgates of the Ginyu package going back into the deck. You have the Jace. I'm sorry to say that Jace definitely fits right into this deck because if you're awakened, you're applying pressure with the crit, right? Or let's just say you have five, summon him, awaken your free leader, you get to draw a card. Now you swing with your leader, swing crit. They'll probably burn a card out of it, and then at the end of the turn, you get to restand the card as well. So that becomes a little bit dangerous because if your opponent does not get rid of that card off the board, that's another crit swing for the next turn, right? And then you have the four drop barrier Frieza into this deck that you will restand again, and that's another problem because you restand this card, you definitely protect it because there's nothing that you can do to swing to this card. You can't rest it, you can't pop it off the board, you can't remove it off the board. So the Vegeta effect of being rested won't affect it. So you will try to, you know, rest other cards that protects it from everything unless the Vegeta is gone. Also, you have the Frieza, which I love this Frieza card. It's definitely gonna be a good card. I definitely gonna see this card being played in many decks because it's the two drop Frieza that everybody played in every yellow deck. Is the only difference is there's a 3 cost, but it gets a rest of battle card, no restrictions, down to rest mode, and then you just apply as much pressure as you can. And it's a 10k combo, so that's one thing yellow was weak at is the 10k combos. uh, Next card is the new 5 drop Bio Brawly. On play, draw 1 card, and then you can restand 2 energies. You could definitely restand the 2 energies to summon another body on the board and apply more pressure. Or you could just have the 2 energies up and do something else that you want to do. So, like, protect yourself. But I feel like I built the Frieza in aggro into the aggro version. So the 2 energies will be used to summon another body to apply pressure. Who knows? You could definitely play this, and then with the 2 restanded energies, summon 2 Bomas. Right? You swing with this card. You already drew a card for it. You swing, um, rest the 2 Bomas. You get to draw 2 more cards. That's definitely good. So now you got 3 extra cards for the turn and into your hand. That's not including your swing with the leader, and that's not including your um, beginning of the turn to draw. So that's 5 cards going to your hand for the turn. Another card that's definitely is going to be a staple in every single yellow deck if people wants to do it is the Janemba 3 cost 25k swing, which is 25k swing standard now, 5k combo, so you don't have to like combo if you're playing against the Zamasu, which you're going to be playing against a lot. And then also the also the Jirins as well. So this is definitely a good card because on play it gets us take a life, also switch energy to active mode, and choose one of your opponent's battle cards in the battle area to rest mode, and it's not being restricted on the cost of the card. So I'm not gonna lie, this definitely helps out a lot with the Frieza because if this stays on rest mode with the Vegeta on board, this is protecting it. If it don't protect it, then you got everything else on the board that you can actually do. Um, to consist of, hmm, I don't know what's up with my phone. I don't know, something about my internet service acting up. So yeah, so there's a 53 card deck. Like I said, it's gonna be standard. Try to squeeze into 50 because I know a lot of people want to see the cards that they want to see um, as fast as possible. But I feel like 53 is a standard number now going into set 5. So that was number 3. And number 2, hands down, I give it to Yellow Vegeta. Yellow Vegeta definitely gonna have the defensive mechanism um, that really applies a lot of pressure, especially that he got more support going on defense. But with the new Frieza coming out, is definitely great because with the new Frieza, you have offensive power. You have a lot of offensive power now going into set 5. Yellow Vegeta is definitely going to be strong. So talking about the offense, on the offensive side, you're gonna have the Janemba that does what it does: self-awaken, reactivate an energy marker. I mean, an energy, restand energy, and then rest the body on the board. That's definitely good. Then you have the on-play Bio Brawly to draw a card and switch 2 energies on board to active mode. So just imagine if you got 6 energies, uh, 6 energies. You summon this to restand 2, that gives you 3. Then you summon the Janemba. The Janemba gets to restand. You take a life. Now you're applying pressure, and then you have the 4 drop barrier Frieza as well to apply the pressure as well. So that's definitely good. You just gotta try to find a way to restand 1 more energy. So like that, you have the Janemba energy and 1 more energy to swing with this and remove a 5 cost or less body on the board off the bat off the board to the discard pile to apply pressure. So that's definitely good. On the defense, you have the addition of this card, Dazzling Onslaught. I want to put in two because it's definitely gonna be good. Because um, yes, you're using two energies to play this card, but it gets to restand one energy back up. So you're bumping to 25, which is amazing, and is letting you to restand one more energy. So that means you could use the death ball, you could use the death ball or the time rewind into the turn as well. And the good thing about that card is that you get to use that card with this, with the Boma, um, because it does recycle back a two cost or less from your discard pile to your hand. So that's definitely good as well because it gets to get recycled. So a lot of defense. It increases the defense a little bit more than what it was because this deck was already good at great, not good, great at defense with all the cards that they have. But now with the offense, it increases the offense with the mid to late bodies of the Bio Brawly, the Janimbas, and the Barrier Freezer. So this is why this is ranked number two in the yellow decks. Last but not least, I consider it number one, not because it says it on paper, but just because this deck is gonna be a problem because of the effect of the leader. With the once per turn, tap two, draw one card, then choose up to one battle card in your opponent's battle area and switch it to rest mode, and that's on once per turn, right? But before you even do that, you get to attack with this card to restand two energies. So you're gonna be energy manipulator going into set five. The energy manipulation will be towards drawing power, um, and that's what you definitely need going into it. So that's how I'm playing the dazzling onslaught two ofs because you get to play it. Um, let's just say you use the two of to activate the effect of this with another battle card to restand one energy, and then you get to use the Janemba effect to restand two more energies. That gives you three. The new cantrip that's coming out, the Psyche Demon, cool art style, definitely good. Um, you have the Barrier Freezer that has to be a staple in every deck because it can be touched and it's a 30k swing, which is amazing. You have the new Bio Brawly card that is coming out in set 5. It's a 3 cost, 20k swing, 10k combo. Definitely need combo power, so this is definitely a good card to have. If you have two or more cards, two or more active more energies, every time this card swings, you would draw a card. So basically, you will have to swing with your leader first before swing with this card. So like that, you get to draw. So that's definitely good as well because your hand size is gonna keep increasing. Another way that your hand size will keep increasing is playing the two drop Zangia, 20k swing, 5k combo. Is a self awakener, but if you tap one energy to draw two cards, then discard one. So you get to automatically draw one card out your deck into your hand. So that's definitely good. Another card, Self Awakener, crit, apply that pressure to your opponent. So they get to burn cards out their hand while you're increasing your hand by Self Awakening and using other cards in the field or your leader effect to draw more cards to your hand. Um, I added three more cantrips because you want to apply as much cantrips as you can. Use the 5k combo to like um, negate some swings. So definitely want to have a hand size. You playing the freezer, the one drop freezer, so you can apply pressure to your opponent on fields like that. They get to burn cards out their hand. So basically, it's an energy manipulator. You have a lot of cards in this deck right now that makes you draw cards and makes you restand energies. So like that, you get to and at the same time, you have cards in the cards like the one drop that gets a rest bodies on the board. The Boma gets a rest bodies on the board. You have the four drop Goku to lock those bodies on the board um, and get to apply as much pressure as you can. I think when it comes to self awakening, you have enough because you have the Vegetas, which is three of. Zangia is at four. The Boma's at four. The Janimba's at four, and then you have the Jaces at three. So you have a lot of self awakening. So if your opponent tries to avoid awakening you, you got too many self awakeners in your deck that will help you apply as much pressure as you can to your opponent. So that's definitely good. And this is I'm playing it at 53 cards. So like I said before, um, when it comes to all these deck profiles, these are basically for you to start off for the next 2 weeks, just to grind, test it out, try to see what cards fits into the deck, what cards do you think fits better into the deck, and just continue swapping in and out of the deck. So like that, you definitely have an idea of when the set 5 comes out on the client, you know what you're doing. Um, so like that, you don't start on the wrong foot going into it. So how you guys are gonna be testing these cards? Um, Definitely to test these cards out, or even before that, this is my rankings. You have the cooler going into number 7, the Majibu slash Babri going into 6, the Captain Ginyu going into 5, the Majibu Evil going into 4, the Freezer going into 3, the Yellow Vegeta going into 2, and the Janemba going into 1. That's my rankings going into yellow. So like I said, it was only gonna be yellow for today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You guys have any questions, concerns, or have any ideas or pointers, you can definitely comment down below. And if I'm not online and you still got anything you guys want to ask, you can definitely hit me up on Discord, which is the last snow. You can find me easily as the same name as my Twitch and my YouTube. Definitely find me there. So that's my top 7 when it comes to yellow, the yellow deck leaders. So if you guys are um, concerned about where to test these cards out, I'm gonna give you guys where to go. So you guys get to go on the OnTap app, which is definitely an app that you can actually use on your phone or on your computer to test out a lot of decks, multiple decks. You can continue. As you can see, I can't tell how many decks I can actually build, but it does says 8. I'm not sure how many it says. I don't know if it says 88 or 99, but you can do multiple decks, right? You build these decks here. You got the create deck button right here. Or let's just say you want to watch games. Right now, this is where you'll find an opponent on play. It's under DBS, so it'll be Masters and Fusion World mixed up. If you want to build a game, you can press new game and wait for somebody to attend. Just make sure on the caption you put that it's Fusion World, so like that you get Fusion World player to play against you. Now, if you don't want to play and you're not ready to play, you can actually go on the watch, and then you have 2 watch. You have 1 Masters and then 1 Fusion World, and press spectate. Go to spectate, and this is what it looks like. So right now, you have the new Vegito, blue Vegito coming out for set 5, going against the green Goku that's coming out for set 5 as well. So right now it looks like they're about to finish their game. So just to break down what everything looks like in the board. So you have the hand size up here. This is hand size. This is his discard pile, which you could click and it pops up at the bottom of the screen or what he has in a discard pile. This is his life, which is, you can see his life right here, and you can see the life right here under his name. This is your deck right next to your life, which is 25 cards left. You have your energies. Your energies are right here, which he has 5. You have your leader on the side, and you have your battlefield right here. And then on here, you will see your opponent's name. So right now, when you're playing, you're always going to be at the bottom. So as you can see, he has 4 life to his 3. Discard pile at 23. This is his hand size. He's 4 life, 15 cards left in his deck. The energy with the energy marker. Energy, the leaders right here, and then the battle cards are right here. The good thing about this right here, if you do want to just test it, like if you don't know how to play the functions of this, so you have the chat box right here, which you chat between you and your opponent. Always remember that. And then right here on your left hand side, there's 4 lines. You click it and it says start spectating. It'll tell you who's spectating, It'll tell you who's playing, the history being played, and then the settings if you feel like it. But if you want to test it out, so let's just say, you know, we stop spectating the game, you want to play new game, so you press new game, this is what pops up. Mine will always be testing set 5. Let's say I put test set 5 FW for Fusion World. You put it at game, play style. It's up to you what you want to play it as. Beginner, janky, relax, optimize, on competitive. Players, you can put out for solo all the way to 6. This is what I wanted to talk to you about. When you press solo, it changes. Then it says enable mirror player or deck to deck basis. Mirror player is basically whatever leader you use, you're gonna be playing against the exact same deck um, on the board. But if you play deck against deck, try to build 2 decks, and then you can play against yourself, and then try to test out the functions of the app, and then you try to figure it out from there. So that's how you figure it out, how to test the game. If you already know how to play the game, you just want to run with it. All you gotta do is press play. If somebody's available to play against you, just join the game. If not, just press new game, build it up the way you want it to build, and then from there you're actually gonna figure it out on how to function. Um, so if you guys have any questions, I'm here for it. As you can see, I did a couple of deck builds. The Janimba is not really built yet. I didn't put it. I got it on the TC on the deck planet, but I don't got it on the untap. But I'm definitely gonna try it on the untap. I'm gonna try to get some games in this week. Maybe try to record it. Trying to see if I it's just the time that I'll get on. Like right now, there's nobody on to play. Um, so try to do the best that I can for the next 2 weeks to grind as much as possible to play. Um, right now, when it comes down to it, going into set 5, I am going to be playing Bardock. I'm definitely going to try Bardock. Bardock, I'm the #1 fan. In the client, I'm at Masters with Bardock. Set 5, I'm going to try to go into Bardock. When I go to locals, I play with Bardock as well. Shout out to Z Labs that he did my custom leaders, as you can see. Hopefully you can see it. The glass is kind of in the way. Trying to get it out. So there's the custom standard front, and then this is the awakened side. Definitely good art that he did for me, and it has the manga on the back. And then he created for me the energy marker. So this is definitely gonna be good. I wish the thing wasn't in a way because it's kind of reflecting on my screen. But shout out to him, Z Labs. You can find him on Facebook, and you can find him on IG. And then, you know, if you guys have any questions about hitting him up, and you guys forget, you can definitely hit me up and tell you guys more. Kind of having a brain fart, but yeah, I'm glad you guys tuned into my channel. Um, so let's get back to this. Put the screen back up. Glad for everybody that tuned into my channel. Trying to make it short because I just came out of work. I just did an overtime. I want to get some rest. Tomorrow's gonna be the same thing. So this week is gonna be a little bit kind of small streams unless I get my case. Fingers crossed, I'm supposed to get my case sometime during this week so I could do the case openings. So if you guys want to tune in for the case openings, hopefully you guys are here for it. I will be giving away codes into the chat from time to time. But for everybody that's actually subscribed to my channel through Twitch, you guys are definitely gonna get codes on the Discord. Make sure you follow me on Discord so I can actually send you the codes. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream. Today was only for yellow. Tomorrow's gonna be a different color. For the next couple of days, I'm trying to break down each and every color. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Like I said, these are not finalized deck builds. These are predictions that you guys should start using as of today, going all the way to February 13. because February 14 is when the new set comes out. So hopefully you guys actually start using it. If you guys have any questions about your deck builds, just hit me up on the Discord. It's the last snow. It's the same name as my Twitch, and it's the same name as my YouTube. If you're new to my channels, press that follow button, subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate everybody that tuned in, and I see you guys in the next one. Peace out.